This video is to talk a little bit about the connection between flowers and fruits. So if you look at the picture on the left, upper left, those are actually little tiny flowers that will be coming out this spring. These are maple flowers. They don't have big showy petals, and you can see the anthers coming out, and these are wind pollinated. So a lot of our big trees in our yard that are deciduous trees are wind pollinated. So they're not trying to lure in insect pollinators, they are wind pollinated. So some people have some spring allergies related to tree pollen. And over on the right, that same maple tree is going to produce these structures. Some people call them helicopters, but these structures contain seeds. And so the seed is then carried by the wind by this helicopter-y structure. And so it spins and spins and spreads itself away from the original tree somewhere else to hopefully find a good spot to grow and germinate. So the seeds get dispersed by the shape of this structure here, and this would be the fruit. So we got a flower and we got a fruit. So how do we get there? So we've got lima bean pods right here, and in our seed and fruit activity, we are using lima beans. So what's in these lima bean pods? Actual seeds, the bean. And so what's in a seed? So if we open one of these up in lab, which we'll do, they've been soaked overnight, and then the seed coat gets softened and peels off, and so then we can split open the two halves of the seed, and most of the seed is known as the seed leaf, called a cotyledon, and cotyledons are filled with endosperm, which is a whole bunch of nutrients, food for this. And so there is an embryo plant in each seed. That embryo plant is the next generation of plants after that plant previously had been fertilized, or the flower had been fertilized. And so this embryo plant will grow out and sprout and become a new plant. So where did the pods and the seeds come from? They originated from flowers. If the pod is the fruit, fruits come from the ripened ovary of the flower. So after that flower has reproduced, that the eggs have been fertilized inside the ovary of the flower, it will mature into the fruit, and fruits are surrounding and protecting seeds. So just a recap on flower parts. This is the female part of the flower called the pistil or carpel. It's made of the sticky stigma for catching pollen, the style where the pollen tubes grow, and the pollen tubes are going to have sperm cells that are going to swim their way down and find an egg or ovule inside the ovary. And then when the sperm cell meets the egg cell, fertilization happens, and then seed development can occur. And when the seeds in here are all fertilized, this whole thing will mature into the fruit. So again, two major events have to occur for reproduction. Pollen landing here, either by wind or carried by an animal, like a buzzing bumblebee, pollination, And then that leads to the growth of these pollen tubes that can allow the sperm cells to make their way down to the egg cell. Sperm and egg can meet, and then you can have fertilization. So pollination first, fertilization second, and then it can develop into seeds surrounded by fruit. So looking at these pods here, or these structures here, you are looking at fruits. Biologically speaking, these are fruits. Same is true of this corn plant. These seeds are surrounded and protected by the whole ear, and then, so this structure would be the fruit. So an ear of corn is the fruiting body of the corn plant.